course, that's where we reside.
Okay.
So no matter what you do, you have to use the road. Every 1 month, I've been going to change my shocks at that my car.
And that's your car?
That's my car. Every month, I've been changing shocks. As I'm talking to you right now, my lower amp is making noise because of the...
Which amp?
My lower amp.
Lower amp?
Yeah, it's making noise, but I'm waiting when the rain finishes before I'll go and fix it. But the road here, my brother, at all. And Okoboy, last 2 weeks, wanted to do demonstration.
If you say Okoboy, you mean the MP?
The MP wanted to do demonstration.
But I know him personally. He's a good man.
Of course, he's a good man, but how come he's not able to fix the road?
Well, you know MPs don't fix roads. Don't you know that?
He promised us that when we vote him into power, he will fix the road. Up to now, the road has not been fixed.
I find that a bit difficult. You know, MPs generally don't fix roads.
But they use this road as a campaign, and that is why we voted Okoboy to power. And up to now, he has not been able to fix the road. So who would I blame? I will not blame Kufa. Kufa didn't come here. It's Okoboy who came here to come and do campaign. That if we vote him into power, he will do the road.
It looks like our presence here has resulted to more anger. And there seems to be more agitation. And this is the Lejokuku constituency where we have affixed the hashtag Fix Lekmana, and we know that we have to ask questions about whether the road construction is ongoing, which stage are we. Malik Dabo will be live from location. We'll be getting snippets of the latest update as well. And then it would also bring you a survivor's story on breast cancer. And you know that this month we have declared right here on the show as the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm the official ambassador of breast cancer of the AM show. Please don't be surprised, because at least we know that 1% of men are affected by breast cancer. But, you know, contrary to opinion, that breast cancer usually is a problem or a disease of the affluent, the Western countries. We know statistics from the World Health Organization indicating that at least for the fatalities or deaths that are recorded annually, 58% of those deaths are coming from countries like us and the rest of the African continent and the developing world, and we should be concerned about it. Please make sure you stick and stay. We'll have a drive-by with organizers of the 3rd annual conference for the Executive Women's Network, and this conference is going to bring together professionals and entrepreneurs. And, you know, we all do love great ideas, and ideas would also mean that they've been put into policy. And one great policy that had been lauded or still lauded by many across the country is the allocation of at least $1 million to each constituency. And, you know, across the country we have 275 constituencies, but as part of our citizen-driven series, we decided to go to La Dade Kotopong, and some of the residents in the constituency here in Accra say they are here to see any development project under the President One Constituency $1 million initiative. Now, during the 2016 electioneering, we do know that government promised to provide this to each of the 275 constituencies. In the La Dade Kotopong constituency, however, residents say no sight. Jojo Kobna has more in this week's edition of our series, Dear Nanado. After we watch this, we'll have the Deputy Chief Executive for the Coastal Development Authority right here, and Kofi Karikari-Bondzie is with us. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, and you're very much aware about our series.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's good. Sometimes when we track, what do you think?
It's very good, but we must track positively.
Okay.
You know, I mean, sampling out one constituency or two constituencies out of 109 in the coastal development zone is not a true representative of what is on the ground. We should look at the bad side and the good side, and then try and correct the bad side and strengthen the good side. So we are okay with the series that is being done by Joy TV. Unfortunately, we are not happy with just ballooning Ododo and La Dade Kotopong, just two constituencies out of.
But you do agree that this is what we found out.
Exactly.
Okay, so we'll watch this, and then when we come back, we'll have some great reactions right here in the studio.
constituency from next year onwards is going to take the equivalent of $1 million to effect I was not elected by the overwhelming majority of the Ghanaian people to complain. I was elected to get things done. Order.
Nanado, Yamono can be here, Omalemi. Nibiano come after Nakuko, you want to call Malimi.
Grace Adekote looked forward to the fulfillment of the 1 million one constituency promise. She recounts her joy when this promise was made. Grace added she teased her friends who belonged to other political parties, insisting their parties had no plan for Ghanaians. But lately, she says she has nothing to brag about. Her faith in a ruling government is a bit shaken because she has not seen a single developmental project in her constituency under the 1 million one constituency fund.
Hey, I'm mommy to Bani can't put Papa on your favorite. I told me on your favorite, trying Papa, you don't know you are near fee.
This sentiment is shared by many other people in the constituency. They list many problems and call on government to solve them with urgency.
We are looking at education. We are looking at sanitation. Sanitation, in fact, our drainage, we need more drainages. Your Excellency, the President, Nana Addo Dankwa, I congratulate you for the development agendas that you have. But unfortunately, over here, we haven't seen anything of that sort. But we believe everything you say, you do it. So when are you bringing our own here? When are you bringing our own so that it becomes a living witness, a living evidence for us to talk about? When we are talking, we can give you a physical evidence. This is what that money has been used for. This is what he talked about has been used for. Your Excellency, when is that one coming on?
In Kayo 2016, a promise was a shingle wofun Oshigo Aleni, a Bapawa, a Bafeduko, Kenya, Lada de Kutupon, a Bam, a couple of Kukuni, I'm Gakwe, I'm a fashion, Bian Kabuone, most about 3 years in Woyone. Wanako no ya noko wanako chake mokonoko no nyo bijagashin domi ne domi wagashin kaji okamoko woshin oganumba ewoshin okajo kam ewoshin no ye e bagbana oni still ani inuko e gbana domi
Ni Nana Addo, Akufo Addo, Aloje Naga. Wa chajibu. Mufia moko yani moko ba. Biane boyo. Wa chajibu. Wa votu wa bojogba. Wa votu wa bojogba. Wala meji wonu wa yawo. Wa machine ga wodi bi fe ni after 4 years na ba ja machine. Shie nyo shie temi. Wana go ko kaje no batano ne. Rowa wale mabi alo mi saki Samuel Saki ta shoni ta shine mi ga bwa o eto wa wo chajibo ngande wo kugudu mi ojogba ni mi pi ya wo ya ni bi fe mbase wo mi ke bo wo nu mu ya logo ego nu ma ga mi ke bo mi tuwe lo ba na mi eteli nu ro bo mi tuwe ni nu yu no ye no fe ya o
be shiga me ga me wa wo ni wo ga fe wo ni bi si abene be na ma ke wo shika ona ko ye no na kwa fi wonu ko
Mami show Bobby. Uko tuma me na me ba. Uha nyina tuacha.
Ni Ajete is pleased with the implementation of the free SHS policy and wants government to invest part of the $1 million into secondary school infrastructure.
First year, minta na ke shikama schools wuji. Eni bia na ga jela mi. Ayeko 3 months ababa. Wa atasha 3 months. Shike eko year. They far 3 months here in Pashake abanya island kan. Bege bi efe school bedeke ba fi efe na kan. Me fi amun ya free.
The Coastal Development Authority is aware of the needs of the people. Kingsley Kofi Karikari-Bondzie is one of the deputy CEOs of the authority. He talks about plans for Ladadekotopong.
The issue with Greater Accra with regards to Ladadekotopong has mainly been availability, non-availability of land to be able to implement this top down bottom approach. We learned lessons out of that, and we realized most of Greater Accra's challenges have got to do with drains. So as I speak with you now, by next week we are awarding contracts for the construction of 900 mm and 600 mm U drains around in Ladadekotopong. We are also constructing 1.2 single pipe culvert at La Abatuma Jona. Then the construction of same 600 mm U drain at La Mantiase. Upgrading of roads at La Con Jona. We are also doing another U drain at La Oloti Street at Dobeto area. Then upgrading of roads at MNC Bells area. Construction of 9-foot bridges and 20 slabs at Tebu area. Construction of a school at La Neighborhood Center. Construction of toilet facilities at La Municipality, about 100 toilet facilities for the various households.
Great plans, except that the projects are yet to be implemented. Kofi Karikari-Bondzie promises that implementation would start soon.
They will see construction work by 30th October because when we award the projects, we have to go and do what we call site identification. We don't want this initial problems to crop up again. So we'll do site identification with the municipal assembly and traditional rulers as well as opinion leaders.
Reacting.
And appropriately so, we have to go to that conversation with Kofi Karikari-Bondzie right here in the studio. And he's the Deputy CEO responsible for Finance and Administration and HR with the Coastal Development Authority and also in charge of the Greater Accra region. That's why you had him responding to the related issues as raised or found by Jojo Kobna in that interaction with residents of Ladadekotopong. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah. And if you continue your reaction, you say that to what we found out in the video there.
In addition to what I mentioned in the these are just to compensate for the loss of the water systems and
okay.
As for the toilet system, it doesn't come. Most the two projects, the cost one for the water projects. I think we failed water quality test. When you go to the La Palace Traditional Council, you see about 2 of the boreholes over there. We can't continue, unfortunately, quite sadly, because they failed water quality test. With regards to toilet, we are unable to get land. They are unable to give us land to do that. The first land they gave us, which is also, we seem to be getting just access to land just around the Traditional Council. Beyond that, we have
So it means
issues.
your main difficulty in trying to get a land for drilling the borehole is where it should be sited.
Sometimes because
why
of
is that? Ladadekotopong is a big area.
Yeah, it's a big area, but densely populated. And it is not just Ladadekotopong. Along the coast, when you take from Axim, Western region is quite better. But when you get down to Sekendi, across the coastline of the coastal development belt, you have issues with free land or acquisition of land. Sometimes they show us a land and then the contractor gets there and they chase him out. So we have learned our lessons. We need to move on. We have held stakeholder engagement with the various stakeholders within the 6 regions. We've had meetings with the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs. We've had meetings with them to make lands available for us to...
For some of these projects.
Exactly.
But let's begin. You fully assumed office as an administrative body.
Yes.
When?
The first batch, we got in April 2018.
Okay.
And then we assumed responsibility in December 2018. So we are fully responsible for the implementation of the 2019 projects.
Yeah. And so when you just started from January this year, what did you start doing initially?
We had to. The MSDI took us around the projects they started. That is the water systems and the toilet systems.
And MSDI will be the Ministry for
Special Development Initiatives. Yeah. They did very, very well. Good morning, Mom. The minister, very hard-working woman. They had this top-down projects, which included warehouses. For the coastal belt, we had about 20, 10 are still standing. The other 10 are yet to be constructed, so we've terminated the contract of that, and we are going to re-award. Good. Apart from the warehouses, she also brought on board the special projects of toilet systems and water systems, where we provide solar-powered water systems for communities with an overhead tank. So the problem with Greater Accra, our challenges here has always been space. So,
because of the congestion?
Yes.
And the land belongs to somebody?
Exactly. When you go around, you see most of these boreholes dug in front of people's home because we don't have available lands. And to even put up the overhead tank, the civil work is a major issue. As for the boreholes, if you want to continue, you just put a pipe, you just pipe it out. But where to locate the civil work is our major challenge. So now, we are moving from providing these boreholes to doing drains, because we have challenges with drains across the Greater Accra region. So in place of what we lost in Ladade Kotopon, we are doing, like I mentioned, drains at Lamantiase, Corvette, Abatum Jona, Mantiase drains, upgrading of roads at Lacon Jona, and then Abeto area, and so on and so forth. Now, to add to that, in Greater Accra too, yesterday your people also showed videos in Ododo. Yeah, it is almost the same thing. When we have one toilet at
they have peculiar problems.
Yes, they are peculiar problems. So we are fixing the Salaga market. I mean, they said 5 million, but the president says, let's do this market for 16 million Ghana cedis. That is equivalent to 3.
Okay. So let's get this straight. Are you
$3 million?
Are you replacing the current market with a new one, or you found a place to relocate?
No, it's the same market, but we have redesigned it, and in this month we'll put up the billboard for everybody to look at the model, and we'll do it in phases. We must also put it across that when we start a project, we can't finish within 1 year. Most of the projects transcend 1 year. Some of them you take about 3 years to complete.
But let me get you. It would mean that for all the things you're supervising in water, in civil works, that will be in road construction, or providing some other means within that sphere, it will mean that you could be spending allocations for 2-3 years on one project.
No, what we do is that when we get the allocations, there are 2 spheres. The first one is what we call top-down or special projects. So we first look at special projects as enshrined in our strategic plan. For instance, this year, when you go to Western region, we want to construct an accident center at Agona-Nkwanta to serve the Takwa enclave, Takwa to Takoradi enclave, and to take off pressure from the Efia-Nkwanta Regional Hospital. When you go to Western North, we are going to do a hospital at Bondzie to serve the people in that enclave. Other places like Sefiri also already have warehouses. So we try to spread the projects. Then when we come to Greater Accra, the special projects includes the Salaga Market, a 16 million Ghana cedi project. And then move on to Volta region. We are doing 2 irrigation systems, both in Volta region and Oti, the Dabala area, and then the Adidomi area, and then we'll go to Ketekrachi and Dambai. In Dambai, we're going to fix the hospital there because we've just, the place is now a regional capital and they need an upgraded hospital. So we're going to give them an enhanced Dambai district hospital over there.
And all these are in your strategic plan?
Yes, please.
For 2019?
Exactly. And coming back to Central Region, if I don't talk about Central Region, they wouldn't be happy with us. We are fixing the Cape Coast artisanal village issue. We want to move the artisans, the mechanics from CUD area to Mimpasem. That is about 7.2 million project. And there are other smaller special projects.
So you'll be removing them from CUD?
Yes.
Okay.
And then give them a decent place to be able to apply their trade over there. There are other smaller issues like at the Sable Market as part of the, we are also in charge of the Year of Return, the Pan-African Village Project. We are giving them engineering services and planning services so that our brothers from diaspora can resettle in Ghana. Okay, apart from this,
that's in which location?
Asable. Apart from this, we have projects that cut across the entire coastal development zone. Number 1, we are providing 5,000 outboard motors to the fishers.
And you had some complaints in there?
Yes, I had some complaints. We have already started with the procurement process. So very soon, the award letter will be issued and supplies will come in by January, February. We will be doing, we held stakeholder engagements first in Axim with the fishers. In Axim, Sekendi, Shama, Elmina, Apam, Winneba, Jamestown, Tema, and Kita. And they told us they wanted Yamaha and Suzuki. So we are procuring...
Based on those engagements.
Exactly. And we have videos and evidence to show. We are procuring 5,000 Yamaha and Suzuki to be supplied to these fishers at a subsidized price to be able to make an economic living out of that. We are also interested in helping micro businesses across the coastal development belt. So we're going to set up the Coastal Development Credit Union, where we give out financial support as part of our social support package. We give out financial support to market women, fishers, and farmers.
Why does the authority want to burden itself with that? That should not be your core business.
It's part of it, economic and social interventions. So you need to bring out strategies that will improve their economic life and social life. So we're building schools, we're building libraries, we're building hospitals, we're building community centers, and we should also target their economic life. If you are giving out outboard motors to fishers, how about the fishmongers? We are going to give them a hotel ovens, but then they need small amount of money to be able to improve upon their businesses. So we are interested in all of this.
Yes, I know as authorities you would be interested in, and I'm sure that also will cascade to the middle and then the Savannah,
Northern Development.
The Northern Development
Yes,
Authority.
please.
Okay.
Yes,
now,
please.
at the end of the day, we also do know that we have already institutions that tend to play these roles already. So
exactly.
Why don't you then just refer them to those institutions based on what you have, data you have picked on the ground and the applications you may get, so that they get those allocations?
Wonderful. It's the same question, like why do we have highways authorities and coastal development authorities interested in drains? Why do we have Ghana Health Service or Ministry of Health and we are interested in
So the difference is, what do you do then? Because now you're constructing culverts.
Yes,
or you're constructing drains.
Exactly.
Gutters.
Yes, and we are constructing schools, we are constructing libraries.
And you are giving out outboard motors.
Exactly.
Plus we have a Ministry of Fisheries.
Exactly. So we are in charge of the development of this.
Aren't we duplicating roles?
We are not. We are complementing. we are complementing
Let me
the
ask you
effort
this
of all of
question.
this.
From the documentary, the citizens of the Ladade-Kotopong constituency seem to be raising issues about them being in a bit, they don't seem to know what's going on. It means that perhaps your stakeholder engagement after the initial focal group meeting or the initial sample meeting, you have not populated or cascaded the information to the rest of the communities.
Because as a matter of policy, we want to remain focused. You see, when you go out there and then you have your stakeholder engagement, all this publicity and the projects are not standing, the people will come after you. And look,
so that's why you remain quiet.
Exactly. The procurement processes in this country, my brother, I don't want to talk about it. You understand? It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, because we want to ensure due diligence.
Exactly.
Value for money.
Precisely.
Otherwise, we will come for you.
Exactly. So we are almost out now. We are going to have a program called October to Remember. We have already loaded all these projects. And by between 20th and 30th October, all these projects will be issued out. So with these special projects, we're going all out from Western North through Central region to OT region to have what we call, currently we are embarking on a tour called Project Identification Tour. So that you say you want construction of 900 mm U drain at Lamantiasi. I should be very, very sure about the availability of this land. You understand? So we are going for project identification.
Because you've been to some of the areas.
Yes, and then we have issues with them. Good. So
now, how did you scope to arrive at which projects a community in a particular constituency?
So as I started, we have two issues, two special projects, the top-down and the bottom-up. The bottom-up projects are projects that, in consultation with district assemblies, members of parliament and other stakeholders, they themselves submit to us. So when we get the allocation from government, we look at the special project, the cost of it, and then we take it out. The remaining amount is spread across the 109 constituencies to be used to do what we call the bottom-up projects or constituency-specific projects. So in Ladade-Kotopong, for instance, they submitted this. And we have realized their issues are basically with drains. So we're going to give more drains across Greater Accra. We're going to do a lot of drains across Greater Accra.
Ideally, drains should go with roads.
Yes.
So because what happens is you have constructed a drain, the middle of that sandwich between those two drains.
We've done some roads, but we are not going to get seriously into roads because they are very expensive.
Yes.
We've done some roads. When you go to Ablekuma, the other side of Ablekuma West.
You mean you've done some surfacing?
Yes. Yeah, we've done some small surfacing, but we are interested in the drains.
In the
so that people can have access to their homes during the rainy season. But basically in Greater Accra, we're going to do roads. We're going to do classroom blocks, supply of street lights. Some of them have already requested for this street lights, so supply of furniture and so on and so forth to schools.
By your observation, and from what we're getting from the reactions of the residents in those constituencies, it looks like they're more gravitating towards the social and economic benefits of what the project specifics would be for the development authorities.
The more reason why
what do you think about it?
Yeah, it is positive. The more reason why we were set up. We were set up to do this too. Social and economic upliftment of the people. But what I can say, I want to appeal to the populace along the coastal development zone, that development is a continuous process. You see, even if we pump 20 million per constituency, there will be some people who will say they haven't seen some in their area.
And 20 million is, for a constituency, is almost $4 million.
Yes.
Yeah. 4 million, averagely.
Yes. Though you have some people who will still complain because if we are doing drains, drains have cost. If we are doing education, they also have cost. And then all these costs are factored into the implementation plan. So today, if we have, say, a toilet at around the traditional council, tomorrow we might have a toilet at where the gentleman was interviewed. this 5,000 outboard motors, do you know, when we went for the stakeholder engagement, the request from Central Region alone was 4,200. And we are bringing in 5,000 because we can bring about 100,000 outboard motors to supply to every single fisher.
And we have Greater Accra,
yes.
Central, Volta,
yes.
Western and Western North.
For the outboard motor, Western North is out.
Okay.
OT.
No, I'm talking the regions. Regions, based on their demands. Their demands.
Exactly. So development is a continuous process. Let's have patience as we roll all of it out.
The thing is that you don't communicate to them.
You are perfectly right, but we wanted to fix the foundation. You just take off. We don't have precedence. In all these other agencies, you know, from Rawlins's time through Kufuor, through Mahama, and they have people who have worked there. Mills. Exactly. So as soon as you get in there, internal controls and policies and everything are in place. But we are just coming out of the block, starting from the scratch and moving on. It hasn't been very easy. No. And I commend my CEO and the sector minister for doing a yeoman's job. The minister, in her own wisdom, realized we have issues with health, so let me bring in more than 300, what do they call them, ambulances. These are all part of the monies allocated. So if you are going to get one ambulance in Ladade Kotopon, you say you haven't seen anything when you have seen all these ambulances being displayed on TV, then you are not being fair to yourself and the government. Who is the government? The government is me and you. So if ambulances are in, and the ambulances are going to be distributed, and you have seen it, and you take a camera to Ladade Kotopon, and they tell you they haven't seen anything, my brother.
Well, they haven't seen it. Somebody lives far off where the ambulance is parked.
Well, we don't pray that anybody should forsake, but if you forsake, you feel the benefit of it. But like this free SHS thing, if your daughter or son is not benefiting,
a lot of the respondents in the documentary commended government for it.
All right. Yeah. So we'll compliment that, and we should pray for the president and pray for the government to succeed and to be able to realize the dreams of this country. Yeah.
Now, moving forward, at the base of all this is the communities.
Yeah.
And the communities are various focal people, community elders, chiefs, etc. What really is the coordination or the interaction between you and some of these leaders who then will then go and communicate to their people?
The first tier of interaction is on our board. We have representative of the various regional House of Chiefs. So we have visited the Western Regional House of Chiefs to tell them about our mandate and to pick their needs. For instance, the accident unit. The request came from the Western Regional House of Chiefs. And then we've also visited Dodowa, Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs. And the main interaction was centered on availability of land. My brother, we have very serious issues over here. Our warehouses
you need land for ambulances.
Our warehouses.
Oh, you need land. Okay,
our warehouses will sit on 2-acre plots or 2-acre lands, and I mean, even in the interior most part of Greater Accra, it will be difficult to get free 2 acres.
And 2 acres approximately is like 8 plots.
Yes. So think about that.
And Accra, a plot is money for
ambulances. The ambulances, for lack of the technical term, will also have their own parking places. And we need space to do that. And we have a challenge.
We didn't envisage all these.
We did, but I mean, we have to sort of make progress out of the challenges. You can't just sit down and fold your arms and complain. The people need ambulances to cut them up. So if it is about Kolebu, and then you have Dade Kotopon ambulance, take it to La Polyclinic. But ideally, the ambulances are supposed to be stationed in a strategic place where at a call, they can move and pick patients to and from the hospital.
Now, when we take ambulances, for example, they are added to the inventory or the fleet or the stock of the ambulance service?
Yes, please.
They manage it?
Yes, please. They will manage it.
But you have inscriptions on them indicating that this is...
$1 million per constituency, and the warehouses have inscriptions, all these other projects. You see, one other challenge or one other realization is that, unfortunately, because we wanted to come out of the block and make an impact in the communities, we were unable to identify our projects. So when you go to Ablekuma Central, for instance, you see a lot of storm drains over 3 kilometers of storm drain. They all belong to us, but we were not able to put signages on them. So we are rectifying all of that. Because I remember touring an area called Russia in Ablekuma Central, and I asked them, do you know the owners of this drain? They said they didn't know. They saw the MP over there, so they thought it was the MP that built it. They said, oh, it is Nana Akufo-Addo who built this through the $1 million constituency program.
They didn't know that?
They didn't. Some people even told us they have never heard of $1 million per constituency. So we have a lot of education to do, and
you have a lot of community engagement.
Exactly.
Beyond the stakeholder engagement, you have a lot of community engagement actions.
So after we are done with the awards, the rest will be monitoring and engaging. So the community engagement begins now on 20th. With the project identification tour, we'll be touring the project site together with the district assembly and the local chiefs, the Odikros, the Manches, the Asafuaches, and all these levels of stakeholders. We'll go there and then we'll take a GPS address of the place. We'll come back. Later, when the award is given, we'll go and do a contractor introduction and then do what we call, in our policy, we have what we call local content. We are telling our contractors not to bring more than 30% of their personnel from Accra or from wherever they come from.
I don't get you. The fact that I'm a construction company, I have to come and hire people from the community.
Yes, especially labor. People who will be carrying mortar, people who will be roofing and fencing. We want the local people to be used. So it is a policy that local people should be used to build projects within the locality for the benefit of the local people.
But at the end of the day, we have to come to some conclusion that these will not be enough. And you're saying that the community members need some patience.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you making sure that consistently you are trying to also get their views on whether these projects are what they need?
That's why we have the bottom-up approach. The constituency, we call it constituency-specific projects. It comes from them. We engage them, we engage chiefs. Sometimes you are in the office, the chief, a paramount chief will come and say, I need a library. A few weeks ago, there was a chief from my constituency, Amosima, who came and said his people needed a library. We sat down as management and we realized, no, we need to give them a library plus an ICT center, and it is almost at the lintel level. Lejokuku, there's a place, I've forgotten the name, around the municipal assembly. We just renovated a library project. We just renovated a library project for them. So the constituency people have input into that. Apart from us going to them, we'll also be having debates because we need to plan the developmental agenda of each constituency over a long period. Apart from the $1 million per constituency, we are also talking to development partners. For instance,
so that you can attract some funding, extra funding.
Exactly. We spoke with some South Africans about the need to help with rest stops and markets and so on and so forth. And let me also put it across that MSDI has also started the procurement process.
And MSDI, again, we have to clarify for our viewers.
Yeah, Ministry of Special Development Initiative, led by Honorable Hawa Kumsin. They have started the procurement processes for the construction of the Mankesi market, 20 million Ghana cedi project.
That's impressive.
Yes. So
where will it be sited, the Mankesi market?
The same place.
The same place.
We'll do it in phases.
It's currently congested.
Very much congested. Yeah.
Last time I went there. All right. We have to say that we're happy for this interaction. I think also we need to continuously be at your beck and call, or perhaps also be in your face, so to speak, so that we'll get to know what you're doing, so that the communication then tends to improve better.
Our doors are always open, and like I said, I want to appeal to Ghanaians that Nana Akufo-Addo is serious about their welfare and the development of this country. The Coastal Development Authority, led by Jerry Ahmed Shaib, will not relent in our effort to bring development at the doorstep of the people. We are appealing to them to stay with us and let us engage, let us come together to be able to identify the needs of these communities and constituencies. And they should also be patient because, like I said, development is a long process. We'll develop each constituency at a time. And we pray that with their support, we will get to the promised land. We cannot create heaven within one day. Even God who created the earth, it took him about 6 days to finish creating all of that and rested on the 7th day or so. I'm not too sure about that. Maybe, I don't remember when he created man, but I think it was on the 7th day he rested. Do you get that? So if it took God 6 days to do all these creations, we should give the government some space, time, and support with positive attitudes and support to be able to deliver development to the people of this country.
You should give government space.
Yes.
Well, so we've been interacting with Kofi Karikari-Bondzie, a Deputy CEO for the Coastal Development Authority. Thank you for clarifying many of the related issues, as we also found out on the ground, because the various residents of the coastal areas that for which we have these authorities to manage also have certain views about the state of the development in relation to the promises that were given in the appropriation of $1 million for each of those constituencies.